Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about the next entity or the unit of the SAP FI organizational structure. So at the top we were having the client which we have already discussed in our previous session. Now in this session we are going to see about the company. So in the last session this was the question that what is the table for client. So the table for client is 3000. And in this session, we are going to explore these topics like what is the purpose of this company and what are the important parameter on its screen, and also be discussing about the currencies. So let us start with our main content. We are going to see about the company. So firstly, we should know what this company represents or what company is. So actually, if you define it, so company is a legal organizational entity. Let me write it. It is a legal organizational entity, and what it does, it actually represents the group of entities or the parent company. So let us understand this with the help of one example. So we often hear about the entities like Tata Motors, Tata Steel, TCS, and the other entities of Tata. So all of these entities comes under the Tata Group. So to take an example, we can mention that Tata Group is nothing but a company in SAP. Below this Tata Group, we are having the different entities I just mentioned. Those all are the company codes. Okay, so under Tata Group, we can have the multiple or n number of the company codes. So simply we can, like in SAP, we can have the n number of the company code under single company. So what is the purpose of this company in SAP? We should know it. So the purpose is consolidated reporting. So the purpose of this company or the definition of the company in SAP is the consolidated reporting. You can consolidate the reporting of the different or the various entities of particular business group. Now we have already seen that it can have the n number of the company codes. Now the question comes, if it is mandatory to define the company in SAP. So the answer is no. It is actually optional. Okay, it's optional to define the company in SAP. Okay, so it's up to you whether you want the consolidated reporting or not. If you don't want, or if you are operating as a single entity or single business, so in that case, you don't need this definition of the company. But we have to understand there is a one module which is known as SAP Group Reporting. So under this module, if you want to work in the SAP Group Reporting module, then the definition of this company become mandatory. So in this case, you cannot skip the definition of the company in SAP. So in our previous sessions in the organizational structures, we have seen in the enterprise structure to define any entity or any unit of the organizational structure, there is particular path, or for some of these paths, we are also having the T codes. So to define the company, we are having one particular path. So the path is, I'm writing here, SPRO, enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, and then define company. So this is the path by which you can reach on the screen of the definition of the company. And along with it, for this particular path, we are also having the T code, that is OX15. Okay, so you can also reach to the screen using the T code or using the path. Okay, so once you land up on the screen using this path or the T code, there are some of the important parameters of these screens. Okay, so these are the parameters. Let me write it. So the parameters are, firstly you will see the company key. Okay, So here this company key can be of up to 6 character and it can be alphanumeric key. So it's up to you. You want to define like a 4 character or like more, but mostly by default it is 6 character alphanumeric key. And then we are having the company name. And next, for example, you can define your business, whatever is there as per the client requirement. So here is a code which you will be giving like IN01, IN03, and majorly these things are provided by the client while you are doing the configuration or the implementation. Secondly, you can give the name of the group. Okay. As in our case, we saw we can give the group name as the Tata group. And next, it will ask you for the address part, where in SAP you will find the field street, and then there is also a postal code. These are all the like identification of the business address. Okay, there is a city and then there is a country or region of operation of the business. And next is the language key. So you can define the language in which you want the statements. Okay, and then there's a currency. So we have to remember whatever the currency we are defining here, it is not actually the group currency or the consolidation currency. So currency majorly defined or the group currency is defined at the ledger level. Okay, you have to remember this. At the ledger level, we define the group currency, which is actually is known by like group currency and type is 30. So group currency type is 30. And in the previous session we saw at the client level also we are having the currency. So that currency is known as the group currency but not in the real sense, and it is used in a sense. For example, you can use that currency for the cross company code reporting. Okay, and the type of that currency is type 60. So we will see where do we define this group currency in our separate session while we will be discussing about the general ledger accounting or why we will be defining the ledger configuration. Okay, so let me just write the T code. So the T code to do that is the FINSC underscore ledger. So under this T code, you can define your like we are having various types of currency like local currency, which is also known as the company code currency, and then we are having the group currency, hard currency. So these major currencies are defined in this particular T code. And there is a path also we will be discussing while we take up the GL accounting. Okay. So next we will discuss about the our question section. Okay. So the first question is, can we have any posting directly at company level? So the simple and direct answer is no. So whatever the posting you make, these are at the company code level. So company is only used for the consolidation purposes. Okay, and the question second is, which I want you all to give the answer in the comment section, that what is the table for company? So there is a particular table as we were having table for the client. So that's all for today. Thank you.